Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be.
You interact with your customers across multiple platforms and devices in this digital world and need to deliver a top-notch experience every time for better engagement and conversions. Do you find this challenging? In the face of an ever-expanding digital landscape, content explosion, and large remote teams? Well, we've got a solution. Introducing ImageKit, the modern media stack to simplify media management and build engaging experiences for your users. You can connect your existing media storage to ImageKit, or upload and organize all your media assets in the integrated digital asset management system to simplify internal workflows and collaboration. You can then deliver these assets to your users across all digital platforms. The inbuilt intelligent optimizations guarantee a high-performance experience every time. With over 50 URL-based transformations, you can start with a single high-resolution asset and create pixel-perfect images, or start streaming videos on your website and app, or personalize digital assets for your users at scale, all in real time. No matter how they interact with your business, or where they are, building delightful visual experiences on the web has never been easier. Head over to imagekit.io and modernize your media stack now.
And then we put on press hide. Just wait. Yeah, yeah. One sec. Let's start this, and then we will go. So let's remove the banner, and then to here. Are we ready? Let's start. Okay.
Hi everyone. Hey. Hi. Welcome to day two. Thanks for being here with us as always. Let's start for the day already. First up, we have Ayush Thakur who is going to teach us about creating AI agents using SDKs in JS. So thanks for that. Please, a huge round of applause for Ayush.
Thank you all so much. So first of all, I might have a small introduction about me who don't know me. Today I'm going to talk about how you can create AI agents using ZSTM. So right now, working currently as a developer advocate and also a co-organizer in React Delhi. Me and my friends run this community, having a meetup on 30th November. So, and these are my social handles. You can connect me, ping me. Okay. So let's start. So before diving into creating AI agents, let's dive into what are AI agents. Anyone have any idea what are AI agents? Any idea?
Oh,
Sure, Josh. Why not?
yeah, they're programs that are designed to perform tasks autonomously following the input from the users. Just off the top of my head.
Okay, that was a clever answer. Anyone else? No idea? Sure.
Specialized LLMs that do one task.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Sure.
So yeah, as he said, like an LLM, but which has access to like certain tools, and it makes decisions on which tools to use to like achieve a certain goal.
Okay. And anyone? Sure.
That helps you automate a task like CDI.
Okay, nice. So yeah, both of our answers are correct. So basically, think of it as like a digital assistant that performs your task on behalf of you. You just give it that command on what task is he has to perform, and based on the environment that you have put it in, it will perform the task on behalf of you. And that task could be like anything from like sending a simple text message to driving a driverless car. Okay. So yeah, as Josh said, programs that are designed to perform tasks autonomously without any human intervention. And uh, some very common known names are like obviously Google Assistant, Siri, Alexa. These are like one of the very common applications of AI assistant. But AI agents are not just restricted to creating these virtual assistants. Okay. And why do we need AI agents? Because obviously when we create any AI integrated application, we have to add that AI feature in it, okay, to give that natural tone so that it adapt itself according to the environment that the project is working on, okay. And some features of AI agents are obviously autonomy, that it can perform that specific task without any human intervention. You don't have to like interfere in it. You just have to give that command. You just have to give that input specifically, and depending upon its own decision making, it will perform that specific bunch of tasks. Okay. Adaptability, it basically adapts. It has the capability to adapt itself, learn himself by the real time data, improve itself, improve the efficiency. And one of the main like application of that shows adaptability is uh, driverless vehicles, driverless cars. Anyone has seen the driverless vehicle, driverless doors. Okay. So how it shows adaptability is like when a driverless vehicle is moving on a road, he adapt the uh, basically measures the current weather that is going in that specific area, whether it could be rainy, it could be sunny, it could be sandy, it could be storm. It checks whether there is a pothole on the road or not. It checks if a road has like changed over a period of time. So it like calculates all these factors, adapts himself, take the decision depending upon the factors, and then perform their specific task. multifunctionality, as I said earlier, from sending a simple text message to playing a music to giving you the real-time data, giving you the real-time news, like we all have that we all have seen in AI systems, CDX and all that stuff, to driving a driverless car. It has like the functionality is endless, the applications are endless, and context awareness. It has the ability, it has the capability to like to like adjust itself according to the environment that project is working on. Okay, and how AI agents work, I guess that all everybody knows. First, we have to basically give that simple simple input, and that input could be of any form. If you're having a discussion with a chatbot, that input could be a simple text message. If you're having a discussion with any virtual assistant, that input could be like a voice text message. If you're driving, if a driverless car is moving on the road, that input could be the data it has received from the backend, the data it has calculated depending on the factors, the weather condition, the road condition, the the car is moving ahead of it. Okay, and depending upon the input that the AI agent has received, it calculates it in its own decision. It finds the best optimal way. It calculates what task it should perform. It calculates the decision, and at the end, eventually, it performs that task. Now, this was like a traditional method that how AI agents are worked, how AI agents are created in a traditional method. But what Julep does is that is the main like the center of the attraction. The what Julep has done is it has followed that traditional method with adding its more features, more API tools, more endpoint tools, built-in RAG user memory, so that for the one of the main features is that it stores all the conversation, all the previous tasks that the AI agent has performed, and depending on what that consumed in that, it takes a decision for the future tasks. Okay, and applications, as I said earlier, it has endless applications. One of the common I mentioned here, like personalization in e-commerce. For example, if you every user has different perspective while buying any product. Whether some buyers give more priority to quality, some buyers give more priority to the company, some the price of the product. According to your needs. Autonomous systems, obviously, autonomous whole AI agent works on the autonomous things. Vehicle drone, enabling efficient real-time navigation, as I mentioned earlier, and obstacle avoidance, obviously, and applications like we all have the virtual assistant, Alexa, Google Siri, and all. So, streamlining daily tasks, provide personal responses so that the basic tasks could be performed by these AI agents, and like difficult tasks like giving a talk could be uh, more as things and finance. So, in finance, AI agents can obviously analyze the market trends, analyze the current trends that are in the market, offer real-time assessment, and providing details about the scams, the online frauds, and how comes this scaling agent, how we create AI agents. This is uh, so, uh, so this is the traditional method how AI agents are created. First, obviously, we have to give it a bunch of tasks that AI agent can perform. Like NLP, we have the national processing unit. Okay, so that the agent is capable to understand the human world, the train the agent, and this is where it all comes. And because training and AI agent, you all know that training NLP on millions of data, on millions of data, it takes a lot of time. It takes like literally months to complete to improve that efficiency, to improve that zero bug. That if it goes to deployment, it goes to any lab user, it doesn't show any error. So this is where it takes months for the companies to train the AI agent, and after like all the testing, all the training thing, it all they obviously deploy the AI agent, and how Julep has created this whole traditional method by releasing their own SDKs. There are JS and there are partner SDKs for the JS SDKs for obviously all of us. So what you can do is basically download the SDK, use it, create AI agent, create agents specifically, and that use that agent in your own projects. Okay, first it requires you to create the user, and that user could be like customer things or any other any other agent work as a user for any other agent. Okay, and agents, the thing that the agents uh, that things of the task uh, that should be performed depending upon the input that the user has given. Okay. And here you can basically configure all your configurations. Use that specific LLM that you want to use. It could be like GPT-4 or Gemini, Claude, depending upon your needs. And at the end, that is where all the magic happens. The agents interact with the input that the user has given. Depending upon that, it will think of a particular things of an optimal task, and obviously eventually perform the task. And here, this is one of the Java code that I made using Power Fan. So this is a Java that I built using AI agent. This is a simple Discord bot, but not so simple because obviously it doesn't talk with you in that monotonous tone like the chatbot does. It talks you with a very human tone, with a very natural tone. If you give any like natural statement to it, it will reply you in a very roasty tone and a very sarcastic tone. So simple, hello Jarvis, long time no see. The classical infinite sentence because this is not what our normal chatbot does. It talks you with a very roasty friend. Okay, and much like half the code because I configured it to perform it in a very roasty form, and it is basically a single software engineer that will give you answer of every coding solution or every coding problem that you need, irrespective of what language you need to. Okay, and it will give you the final answer in a very obviously roasted sarcastic way. And along with a very normal test message as an input, if any new member joins the Discord bot, Discord server, it will also consider that joining message as an input and give you a very sarcastic, a very roasty, you can say, welcome message. Okay. So, for example, if a user joins your Discord bot, hello, Telestream, ready to dive into OnePlus world of coding. Okay. This is not what I have given it. It is giving all those messages by thinking himself, by taking a decision himself, and giving that the final output. And as I said earlier, it is a senior software engineer. So, for example, write a ternary search algorithm in Python. It will give you the required answer of that coding question that you will give it to. Okay. First, it will obviously roast you, sarcast you, and eventually give you the perfect answer that you are looking for. Okay. And here is a live demo that I have screen recorded. Okay, I guess it is visible. Let me play. Okay. So, hello Jarvis, how are you? So, it takes like almost few seconds, almost like milliseconds to like think of it, process the input that the user has given, and give you the final output. Like this. It's a blur little bit. Is it blur? Yes. It is edible? Okay, cool. So give me a GS code for a tic-tac-toe game, a very traditional, very known tic-tac-toe game. It will give you the whole code of it, obviously in a very sarcastic way, in a very roasty way. Okay. So here's how the Jarvis works, and this is a very simple, very basic, very like can say the classical application of an AI agent that you can create by your own self. Okay, and obviously we all know almost every other SaaS tool use a Discord bot for their to solve the query for their users. And this can be one of the like a solution for that because obviously now we have to hire a specific person to solve out that query. Now you can simply integrate it, use it, and give all the commands, all the specific tasks that it can perform. And it, for example, if a developer comes to this bot, gives any query, it will solve out that query without any human intervention. The developers of the company does not need to like involve in it. It will analyze the query that the developer is asking and give you the optimal solution, give the specific solution that you are looking for. And here's the Discord community, the Julius Discord community. You can join it. Okay, ping as any of the developer. It will be there for you to solve out any query. Okay, and here's me. You can ping me, message me, contact me, drop any questions if you have. Here's my LinkedIn and my Twitter and my GitHub. Okay, so I guess people are scanning. Okay. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Ayush. So next up, we have Abhinav who will tell us a bit about how to make a YouTube clone. I'm excited about a YouTube clone. If I could learn how to make a YouTube clone, I could actually create a second video app that works.
Yeah, we'll just make it an actor.
Okay, wow. That's
Usually how you do it.
Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be.
You interact with your customers across multiple platforms and devices in this digital world, and need to deliver a top-notch experience every time for better engagement and conversions. Do you find this challenging? In the face of an ever-expanding digital landscape, content explosion, and large remote teams? Well, we've got a solution. Introducing ImageKit, the modern media stack to simplify media management and build engaging experiences for your users. You can connect your existing media storage to ImageKit, or upload and organize all your media assets in the integrated digital asset management system to simplify internal workflows and collaboration. You can then deliver these assets to your users across all digital platforms. The inbuilt intelligent optimizations guarantee a high-performance experience every time. With over 50 URL-based transformations, you can start with a single high-resolution asset and create pixel-perfect images, or start streaming videos on your website and app, or personalize digital assets for your users at scale, all in real time. No matter how they interact with your business, or where they are, building delightful visual experiences on the web has never been easier. Head over to imagekit.io and modernize your media stack now.
Just wait. I'm gonna tell you when. Okay, in 1 minute we start. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, ready.
Hello everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's great to have you guys. We some very great sessions. So how's everyone experiencing? What anyone like to share? Quite a few. And how many of you have actually used ImageKit in any of your project or work? Just one. That's good. Okay, before diving in, let me tell you a little bit about myself and ImageKit. I'm Abhinav. I have been with ImageKit for the last 5 years, and I'm the tech lead. And I am usually focused on the image and video API, as you can see here. And, so I'm sure that you guys have used apps like Swiggy, Book My Show, Zepto. You use it almost every now so often. And they use ImageKit to actually stream their videos and images at scale at, for a larger audience. So, yeah. Let me just show you what exactly are we doing here. So we have an application here that looks quite a lot like YouTube, and you have a list of videos, and then you can go ahead into a video and start streaming, and it starts loading as soon as you open the page, and you have an option here just like you have in YouTube to actually go ahead and change the quality. Now, this quality depends on your network connection and your browser window size, but we'll talk about this later when we're covering adaptive bitrate streaming. And we can also go ahead and try to upload a new video. There's an option here for that, and let me just show you. And we can set the title and description. Actually, let me just show you. It's some, and so let's just start trying to upload a video. Here's some questions. Try it up. Yeah, and as soon as this is done, the video will show up ready watching. Yeah, perfect. So we have the video here. You have it on here, and the video is ready to play. So let's just go ahead and discuss a little bit something about how we make an application like this. Can anyone of you tell me what the major components of the application like this would look like? Sorry?
Basic front-end.
Yeah, okay. Header, container, all of these are included in a front end.
Some sort of encoding pipeline.
Yeah, we have an encoding pipeline, so once you upload the videos, we go through a pipeline so that you can stream. Anything else? Sorry? Workflows are there, but that's exact use case depending on the company. Not everyone would want it. Yeah.
And something to store these videos.
Storage. Yeah. So once you upload these videos, you have to store them. So as you can see, we have the front end, then we have back end, and we have an encoding pipeline connected to it. Now, one of the most complex parts of this entire service would be the encoding pipeline. And that's where actually ImageKit comes in. It takes out all the complexities from your entire process so that you can just directly start streaming videos, and you don't have to worry about implementing the entire encoding pipeline or even coming up with the supporting infrastructure for it. So let's get started. Let's not waste any other time. I have split down the entire process into the entire project into 4 simple steps. So if you guys want to follow along, we can get started. First of all, we'll start with creating an ImageKit account, and you can clone the repository and just set up the dependencies. I'll wait for you guys.
We are trying to get a long internet cable.
I use my phone at the moment,
And I was going to suggest,
but
can you
look,
give you my hotspot?
if you can give me, how fast is your hotspot? How many gigabytes is that?
I've already added a boilerplate for a software. Just go ahead and install this one. If it's not visible, you guys can just place it. There are a couple of things.
Okay. Which one is this? Is it this?
No, I didn't know.
That's fine. Viral.
So let me just open one file and see that it's with the file. Okay. So is the code legible or should I increase the font size? So for this, we're going to start with the documentation for the Next.js SDK that we have. Since we are using Next.js as a front-end repository, front-end for this project. So we'll use the Next.js SDK, everything is documented, and we're just going to start following. We'll go through setting up the Next.js SDK. These are the instructions for setting up an application. Let's go ahead and okay. So we have to install the ImageKit.io next package. This is already there in the boilerplate code. So if your dependency installation has succeeded, it's already there. Next, we should go ahead and initialize SDK. We have to make an env file over here that contains these variables. And as you can see in your project, you have an env.sample. We can just go ahead and rename this to env.local. And we need to fill in the values. So we can find these values by just going into our ImageKit account and we'll go to the developer section. So here we have the URL endpoint that we need to add here. Let's go ahead and do that. a promise that you have to resolve by just connecting it with your backend API. So as you can see, we are doing a fetch request here to the endpoint we just created that's going to generate the signature. And once we have that, we just have to return the values. And the upload component is all it. It's going to pick up on its own and get it done for you. Okay. So now let's move into the upload.
I have lost some parts.
And if I'm moving a little too fast, you guys can let me know. That's what. Yeah.
How many people do we have?
Nobody is actually getting the
And without that, this is a fail. We are not getting anything yet.
So you can actually go ahead and look at the recording once we're done with that.
Sir, can you give us the link? Like,
The repository link?
no, not actually YouTube link.
Maybe I think
It's already we will give it to you after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Then it will be okay then.
so. Once we have created the API, we have configured the provider. All we need to do to upload it is to remove our existing file selector that we have.
Where is the usual and the other guy?
And instead, we'll use
We need
an
a
IK upload
cable.
component. Now, an IK upload component is just a wrapper for your input file element. And if we go ahead and do that, I'll explain you what all of this. Okay, so we have a component here. We have a couple of props that we pass in. Okay, so we have successfully uploaded the file. Now we can't see it here. That's because, as I said, it's what adaptive witness streaming some feedback. That is what exactly adaptive witness streaming is. Now, implementing this requires a little more going technical into it, but ImageKit simplifies that for you. I'll just give you a brief on how it actually works. So we have an initial 1080p video. What you do is you create small variations of it on every resolution that you want to support. 1080p, 720, 480, 360. And once you create those, you reference them into a manifest file. Now, a manifest file is nothing, it's just a text file that contains the information about the resolutions, what the video is, the codecs, size, a lot of different issues, and primarily the bitrate of the video. Now, bitrate acts as a uh, deciding factor as to which resolution your player has to get. I'll just show you a sample M3U8 file. Now, M3U8, I kind of skipped on this. There are two protocols that are widely used while implementing APIs. One is HLS and the other one is FAT. M3U8 is used by the HLS streaming. Now, you have, as you can see here, we have the original video and we have different resolutions associated with it. Now, this is the file that the player will use to decide which video to play, depending on your network condition and sometimes your browser size. Okay, how do you implement APIs? Now, creating all of these variations, all of these things, you require a complex video encoding pipeline, as we just talked about a little bit more 30 minutes ago. So, how to implement it? I'll come back to this and I'll first show you how it is done in from the documentation. How we do it. ABS playlist rather than the original video. And as soon as it's done, you can even skip from the list till it's processing, or show an error to the user that this video is processing. Like when you upload a video to YouTube, it says for a couple of minutes that your video is processing. By the time it will be ready, you can share it. Similar to that, we have in webhook, and to use the webhook, this is mostly how the webhook looks like. This entire thing is present in our documentation for you to refer and use it. So this is pre-transformation. Sorry about that. This is post-transformation. Yeah. So we have the webhook. We have a lot of information coming in. Right now, we are mostly interested in file ID. So in our code, we have a webhook handler, and here we'll say that file ID is equal to req.body.data.file ID, and we'll use our ImageKit update file endpoint and custom metadata like we used before. We'll say that update file details, for file ID, and we'll say that we need to update the custom metadata. And we have another flag here, ABS ready. So this is just some application logic that's entered to this one that I'm using to decide whether to send an ABS playlist or just a MP4 video. And we can go ahead and consume these values that we just configured in custom metadata right here in our details endpoint that we create. Now we have file.custom metadata. If it has ABS ready, we're serving the URL. Otherwise, we're just serving the normal URL.
The default value is default for the ABS ready.
No, there's an else statement here. For ABS playlist.
Through you are handling that.
Yeah.
ABS for the value falling back to the normal.
Yes. It can be undefined also, depending on how you configure custom metadata on your dashboard. But yeah. Oh yeah, another thing about custom metadata. Any field that I'm using here, like ABS ready, title, description, all of these fields need to be configured in your dashboard. Now, I actually went ahead and did it before this presentation. So you have to configure this, otherwise the upload API is going to give you an error that this field is not valid, and you just configure it how you want. You have a lot of different types of data that you want to assign it. Okay, so let's get back to the application and see here. So it seems like we haven't generated the ABS playlist yet because we have no quality, but we have a video playback that started to play. This is because of the fallback URL that we just sent. Wait for the books to finish. The thumbnail is ready, but we're just waiting on the ABS playlist to get ready for the webhook. So till that happens, anyone has questions, anything that I clicked on, we'll pass it.
Specify during the upload.
Yeah.
First time I did that I needed a different resolution. That time it's
So, ImageKit works with this idea in mind that whenever you want a new asset and whenever you want a new transformation or different variation, you just update the URL and the processing starts there. It's similar for images. Images have a synchronous API. Now they work directly. Like you want to put in an overlay, you want to see if there is what it updates. You can just go ahead, overlay something like you're working on an asset and you have some text that you want to update. That works synchronously. There are a couple of AI transformations that we have recently come up with. Those require a little heavy lifting, so they're asynchronous. And video is completely asynchronous. So like yeah, we just got the webhook here, and you can see. And we've already configured it in our code just a while back. So the so this time when I open this video, we should see all the resolutions. So we are ready to stream this. Anyone who's streaming at an even smaller, slower internet, the video will start working.
Actually, it won't be an issue.
That's
Actually, that is all about
mostly it
Copilot.
from
If internet doesn't work, Copilot doesn't work.
demo.
I understand. It makes sense. But they can see it after.
Listen, yeah.
So if you guys have any questions or
At the moment, they're fine.
what are you doing the playback? About the playback. So
Yesterday, I
we
think
are
there were
using
400
a component called Cityjs. Now it's a very widely used
Now
library.
they're 500.
And
500
I'm just using it here to
It's increasing.
Yeah,
People see the
yeah,
later.
later.
as ABS and
At the
HTTP
moment, it was like,
streaming.
when I realized it was around 400.
All you need to do is just enable it and start.
It will be more. People are watching it whenever they can.
Yeah.
And then we will cut it
ImageKit,
and make
I
a
said we
single video.
it comes
So
whenever you sign
put
up
this
for
in
an
the
account, it
stream.
comes with cloud connectivity.
Also,
But
whenever you
if
get
you are
them,
already
share pictures.
using any other
Whenever you
cloud
get them, please
I guess you're using.
I mean, whenever you get them.
And you've been using it for a while, you know to continue using it. We do offer the capability of integrating directly into your account. Any other questions?
So on the player page,
Okay.
it checks for the network speed.
Yes.
For example, let's say if I'm playing it on the mobile, does it also consider the size of my screen?
Yes, absolutely it does. So I'll just do one thing. I'll go a little technical into this and show you the actual requests that are. So I have this browser page and I'm gonna go ahead and see. So we have it configured to 1648 and if I'll refresh. So when I play the video, so we see that it's trying to load the 720p resolution asset file. But if I just go ahead and resize the video to a smaller chunk, and this is 629 width, and I refresh it, and then try to play, it's loading the 240p. So it's already taken into consideration what your optimal resolution should be for playing the video. You can obviously, as a user, go ahead and increase the quality, but it doesn't make a lot of difference for viewing a 4K video on a smaller file screen if it does not have a very heavy pixel density.
So the player do it automatically, and it depends on if we have the variation ready to serve.
Yes. So Cityjs already has this entire logic built in. They have a complete documentation. I'll do one thing. I'll add that link into the repository if you guys want to refer it later on. And it explains you how changing bitrate modifies what asset is being used. Yeah.
Two questions. Can you like open the responses?
Yeah. So this is a TS file. Now TS file is a video chunk, and the actual WinFreeUI file is right here. Okay, go on to the Chrome tab now. Sorry for that. Yeah, I'll actually do a curl because if you try to open in browser, it will try to download it. Sorry. Okay. That's your MPUA file. Increase the font size. It's visible. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the application logic of behind these are the number of chunks that are supposed to be. So is there any application logic behind it or
Application logic as in your player will have a logic into it. As I just explained that it depends on your network speed as well as your screen size. Now, if your screen size is 1920 1080, so it will try to load that file. But if your network isn't supporting it, it will go to lower resolution.
So let's say if I have a 10-hour long video,
Yes.
so does it also consider the length of the video, these are the number of chunks that I'm supposed to distribute?
Not exactly. Your on this is not actually dependent on what initiate does. It is mostly of the player side logic. The player will always try to seek to a specific value. Now, Video.js by default seeks 30 seconds of video in advance, so you have playback ready. Now, what happens is that these chunks are like they're like swappable items. Like you're already loading 4K, and suddenly your network drops. It will try to load the 240p resolution. And it makes a decision by actually calculating how long it took for the last chunk to download. Even if it's a 10-hour video, you can go ahead and stream in that the full 1080p video if your network supports it.
So it totally depends on the client side.
Yeah, this entire logic is there on the player. It's not related. But yeah, good question. Yeah.
Your video pipeline is basic.
Yeah.
What are your sync operations? What are your throughput numbers? And what are your rate limits?
Now for the videos, especially all of the operations, including generating transformations for videos, thumbnails, the ABS players, and we have a feature to convert a GIF file to an MP4 file. All of these operations are asynchronous. Sorry for that. All of these operations are asynchronous. There are some new AI-based transformations that they introduced that take longer than 10 to 15 seconds.
What is the screen? The one you were saying before, is the information. Okay.
Clicking?
Yeah.
So where do you keep these files? In your private server or is it in the cloud?
So all of these files are stored in an object storage. We store all the files in our object storage. Now, ImageKit offers you the ability to bring in your own storage where you have your original files. For example, you already have 10 terabytes of video files in an S3 bucket sitting somewhere. You can just connect it with our API and you can start streaming them right from there. You don't need to copy any files, you don't need to move anything. It is just as simple as that.
So you convert and keep it back in the S3?
No, I can't. No, that's a different thing altogether. We save it in our original caches. So there is a feature for that. You can check out the docs. It's called backup bucket. We'll save your any transformation that you make in a requested in a bucket that you want. That's it.
File support, video file support, and image file support. Really good. It is really good. Like it can support a variety of.
Yeah. We support inputs from a variety of input files, and for outputs, we usually support the formats that a browser will support. For example, MOV files aren't supported by a browser. We won't deliver MOV files as is, but we give you the option of converting that MOV file into an MP4 file during playback. Yeah.
So can you scale a video? So for example, if I upload a 1080p video, can I show it in 4K?
We are working on that feature actually. There's no timeline committed to it. We've recently launched image upscaling, but video upscaling will take a little while. We do have a couple of features that we are going to launch in a while that are already in the pipeline. We have automatic captioning of videos, chapter generation, and mostly that's what I remember from the top of my mind. I'll have to check. But yes, yeah, any other questions? Okay, I am gonna do one thing. I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna show you the repository again. So the final output that we made, the final demo that we made, that is also there in the branch. You can go ahead and check that out as well. So, excuse me, sir. So the final code is there in the repository itself.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah. The boilerplate's also there, the final code's also there. So that might help you. If you need any other help, I'll be happy to help you after this session.
Yeah, actually, I was looking for the live streaming over there on YouTube. I opened Cityjs today to over there video and the voice is lacking. So it's okay. I'm understanding.
So everything is there, the final project also, and you guys can go ahead and reach out to me if you have any issue. Okay, thank you everyone.
In our modern world, technology moves at light speed. But why has our financial infrastructure failed to keep up with the pace of change? The Interledger Protocol was created to make sending money across the internet easy. We envisioned a payments network that acts as a bridge between anyone and the entire world. Today, when we send an email, we take it for granted that once we hit send, the email will appear in the recipient's inbox almost instantly. It doesn't matter if you're sending from one email provider to another. It works seamlessly in a matter of seconds, not days. The Interledger Protocol is designed so you can send money as easily as you can send an email. It's a network that reflects our interconnected world, accessible to all, regardless of identity, geography, or income. One that's more inclusive, without minimum transaction amounts or costly transfer fees. The closed networks of the past keep people disconnected. Our mission is to bring our financial infrastructure into the 21st century and give everyone equal access to a global financial network. Email your digital bank or digital wallet provider and ask them to consider joining us to help make the world a more interconnected place. Visit interledger.org/today to learn more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this way, like if I
Yeah.
that side to point out
Yeah.
at the screen.
You interact with your customers across multiple platforms and devices in this digital world and need to deliver a top-notch experience every time for better engagement and conversions. Do you find this challenging? In the face of an ever-expanding digital landscape, content explosion, and large remote teams? Well, we've got a solution. Introducing ImageKit, the modern media stack to simplify media management and build engaging experiences for your users. You can connect your existing media storage to ImageKit, or upload and organize all your media assets in the integrated digital asset management system to simplify internal workflows and collaboration. You can then deliver these assets to your users across all digital platforms. The inbuilt intelligent optimizations guarantee a high-performance experience every time. With over 50 URL-based transformations, you can start with a single high-resolution asset and create pixel-perfect images, or start streaming videos on your website and app, or personalize digital assets for your users at scale, all in real time. No matter how they interact with your business, or where they are, building delightful visual experiences on the web has never been easier. Head over to imagekit.io and modernize your media stack now.
Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the
You interact with your customers.
Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be.
You interact with your customers across multiple platforms and devices in this digital world and need to deliver a top-notch experience every time for better engagement and conversions. Do you find this challenging? In the face of an ever-expanding digital landscape, content explosion, and large remote teams? Well, we've got a solution. Introducing ImageKit, the modern media stack to simplify media management and build engaging experiences for your users. You can connect your existing media storage to ImageKit, or upload and organize all your media assets in the integrated digital asset management system to simplify internal workflows and collaboration. You can then deliver these assets to your users across all digital platforms. The inbuilt intelligent optimizations guarantee a high-performance experience every time. With over 50 URL-based transformations, you can start with a single high-resolution asset and create pixel-perfect images, or start streaming videos on your website and app, or personalize digital assets for your users at scale, all in real time. No matter how they interact with your business, or where they are, building delightful visual experiences on the web has never been easier. Head over to imagekit.io and modernize your media stack now.
Azure Cosmos D.
In our modern world, technology moves at light speed. But why has our financial infrastructure failed to keep up with the pace of change? The Interledger Protocol was created to make sending money across the internet easy. We envisioned a payments network that acts as a bridge between anyone and the entire world. Today, when we send an email, we take it for granted that once we hit send, the email will appear in the recipient's inbox almost instantly. It doesn't matter if you're sending from one email provider to another. It works seamlessly in a matter of seconds, not days. The Interledger Protocol is designed so you can send money as easily as you can send an email. It's a network that reflects our interconnected world, accessible to all, regardless of identity, geography, or income. One that's more inclusive, without minimum transaction amounts or costly transfer fees. The closed networks of the past keep people disconnected. Our mission is to bring our financial infrastructure into the 21st century and give everyone equal access to a global financial network. Email your digital bank or digital wallet provider and ask them to consider joining us to help make the world a more interconnected.
Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be.
You interact with your customers across multiple platforms and devices in this digital world and need to deliver a top-notch experience every time for better engagement and conversions. Do you find this challenging? In the face of an ever-expanding digital landscape, content explosion, and large remote teams? Well, we've got a solution. Introducing ImageKit, the modern media stack to simplify media management and build engaging experiences for your users. You can connect your existing media storage to ImageKit, or upload and organize all your media assets in the integrated digital asset management system to simplify internal workflows and collaboration. You can then deliver these assets to your users across all digital platforms. The inbuilt intelligent optimizations guarantee a high-performance experience every time. With over 50 URL-based transformations, you can start with a single high-resolution asset and create pixel-perfect images, or start streaming videos on your website and app, or personalize digital assets for your users at scale, all in real time. No matter how they interact with your business, or where they are, building delightful visual experiences on the web has never been easier. Head over to imagekit.io and modernize your media stack now.
Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be.
You interact with your customers across multiple platforms and devices in this digital world and need to deliver a top-notch experience every time for better engagement and conversions. Do you find this challenging? In the face of an ever-expanding digital landscape, content explosion, and large remote teams? Well, we've got a solution. Introducing ImageKit, the modern media stack to simplify media management and build engaging experiences for your users. You can connect your existing media storage to ImageKit, or upload and organize all your media assets in the integrated digital asset management system to simplify internal workflows and collaboration. You can then deliver these assets to your users across all digital platforms. The inbuilt intelligent optimizations guarantee a high-performance experience every time. With over 50 URL-based transformations, you can start with a single high-resolution asset and create pixel-perfect images, or start streaming videos on your website and app, or personalize digital assets for your users at scale, all in real time. No matter how they interact with your business, or where they are, building delightful visual experiences on the web has never been easier. Head over to imagekit.io and modernize your media stack now.
Okay, let's go.
Hey everyone. So, hi. So yeah, sorry for the delay, but please welcome on stage Manik, who's going to talk about Cosmos TV in Node.js. So, please let me turn it. So, hey everyone, I'm
Need to
Manik.
fix the screen.
So, we are co-maintainers of Cosmos TV JavaScript SDK. And today we will be talking about building a Node.js application using Cosmos DB and GitHub Copilot. So just to make it quick. Uh,
Yeah, let's talk a bit casually today. I think yesterday we had a bit constraint of time, so let's get to know. I think if we can get a brief temperature of the room.
No, you keep talking and we will
Yeah.
fix
Okay.
it. Something.
Okay. How many of you are front-end developers? Okay, that's quite a lot. Sorry.
Does full stack count as front end?
Yeah. I'll ask the next question after. Which you already know now. But okay, how many of you are backend developers? And how many of you are full stack developers? How many are cloud engineers? No. Okay. How many of you want to be full stack engineers, or how many of you are actually students right now and want to become engineers someday? I mean, in the process of becoming engineers. Nice. Good to see some strength here. All right. Okay. So now that we have some temperature of the room, that how many folks are in this field. All right. So how many of you actually know what Cosmos TV is, or how many got to know it yesterday only? Okay. Thanks. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday's presentation. But yeah.
Okay, so this is what we are going to learn today. We would utilize GitHub Copilot to help with the coding task. Uh, we would be so we have set up the service for you. So today we'll be just seeing we will be creating a data service which will help you to connect to Cosmos DB. We would create simple CRUD operations to interact with that, and we would also write some tests. And if time permits, we will deploy the application too. So yeah, don't hesitate to ask questions.
Thanks, Mani, for putting it nicely. Actually, we wanted to build this app before coming here, but actually we are a bit busy, so let's do it right now if it's fine with you all of you. Feel free to open your laptops and any of.
This is actually a hands-on session. Yeah.
We made it a hands-on session because we didn't make it earlier. Alright. How many of you have used GitHub Copilot before, or know what GitHub Copilot is? Alright. Anyone wants to say, want to tell like what GitHub Copilot is and how it has helped you? Just to let other people know that. How about you? Would someone like to answer that?
I use it every day.
You use it every day, but what do you use it for?
For coding purpose, obviously, it's an AI pair programming from GitHub.
Right.
It's mainly for use for like repetitive tasks. It can also solve a lot of problems.
Right.
It can sometimes tell you do things. For example, if you are not able to like solve a problem,
Right.
it can tell you 10 different ways of how you can solve it. It's really good.
Yeah. I hope you didn't read it from the slides.
No, I use it every day.
But this is what we were about to talk. Okay.
Sure. So this is how.
Alright. Thanks for telling like how Copilot works. Let's dive a look a bit into like how it was actually made, so that like I hope in the future you get a better sense of how these technologies are getting built. Right? I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not sure who to blame this for. Yesterday we didn't have breakfast. Uh, then we were asking about lunch and all. Today,
So you can carry on talking now.
yeah. Okay. GitHub Copilot, as you know, like yesterday, I think we talked about how you can actually avoid skipping fine tuning your model and actually use RAG pattern to develop applications. So let's talk about like how GitHub Copilot is different from that. So as we know that it actually takes a lot of high quality data to train these AI models and to actually fine tune and actually be able to work it as good as that Copilot works. It actually took a huge amount of data for Copilot to be built. And so it is actually based on GPT-3 model, and a lot of coding data was put, coding data was used to train that, and that is actually how you got a Copilot that is that you use every day. I hope I forgot like how many you actually use it, but I hope after the session you will be using it.
Yes, keep talking. Okay, yes, okay.
Alright. In today's demo, or supposed to be demo, we will be actually using GitHub Copilot, and we'll be using that Manik I think already talked about. And I hope anyone wants to talk about like, but if anyone got a chance to look at the cosmos with the after the event. Anyone? Uh, yeah. Okay. Cosmos DB, as you know, is a Azure Cosmos DB is a Azure offering for databases, and it actually has different taggings for the API. It has MongoDB API, it has NoSQL API, and in this demo, we will be actually using NoSQL API for building this red application. And blocks of
एक्सपैंड
but all
फुल
we
साइज
have
कर
done.
देंगे मतलब जब तक ये नहीं आ रहा इसको फुल कर देंगे
Alright, I think yesterday we were just talking about Murphy's Law, but today it is happening. Okay, by the way, are you able to open that link? Yeah, maybe you can start with that. It has the prerequisites. So meanwhile, just give us some time to fix it up. You can start with the prerequisites and installation steps. Yeah. Alright, I think we are back live. Sorry about that. So, but all have be done, and but all is required for you to be done with us. Alright, Mike, you want to take over this?
Sure. So we have created a My To Do app to store your to-dos, like what you want to do in a day. So it's an Express app implementing a to-do list application. The application is mostly done. So we will create a data service to interact with Cosmos TV, and we will make it quick using Copilot. Also, we will show you how to write the documentation and some tests for that service. So, uh, yeah, these are the three for this talk.
you need a chair
So yeah, I hope the people following along with us have a GitHub account and have a GitHub Copilot enabled and an Azure account, and all like you can create a free GitHub account and a free Azure account. And yeah, so let's dive right into it.
there's no way we can connect
Yeah, and actually there are multiple ways like we can configure this environment. Like if you have
the
access to
cable is
Postgres,
not
you can
long
use
enough.
that, and it is actually very simple to install everything there. If you want local setup, you can also do that. And if you have access to dev containers basically like dockerizing that entire thing, and you can actually like all the npms and everything, old version and everything is actually packaged into your image, and you can directly use that, so you don't need to run into all those dependency issues and everything. So dev container is actually like you can install it.
Let me. So yeah, please try to open code spaces. Initially, we also had plans to show it up, but we would use dev containers since there are some internet issues. But yeah, open GitHub code spaces.
There is some ports. No LAN ports there. There are some LAN ports there. Okay. Because I cannot use their laptop, so I need to show their screen.
Alright, give us a word like whenever you are able to open that.
This means
Not able to use StreamYard.
Yeah.
Take the.
So on the second page, you'll see that which code that we have put, and so I'll walk through what all has been done and what all will be doing. Let's show what all we have already done. Yeah. So when you clone that repo, you'll see something like this. You'll see one client and one service. So this actually a full stack application where you use some layer on the to-do app. and also along with the source and the server, like which is actually powering that. And yeah, so for the client package that you see, that is all the front end that we have already done. So there's no need to code anything into that one. And now let's focus a bit more into the server application. Yeah. Right. In the server application, like, as many use of it, like we have modular ability to module services, application, all the
all these things.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. All right. Let's walk through the model for the app. So for any to-do task, it's actually you need to create a task, and task. So but that encompasses is that user ID for which user that task is being created, then a title, but they want to store and if it has been completed or not yet. Right. So
The Wi-Fi guy is out, so
so there are like 4 to 5 main routes that we have created and which path that we have created. So one is the home path to just to see that everything is running and or not. Then you have users ID and the particular task that they are going to like. Then it's actually a post like if they want to create a new task. And then we have to get a particular task by using their ID, and we'll see like how all of these APIs are used. Yeah. So now coming into the part what is left. So it's actually configuring the Cosmos DB. So like in the Cosmos DB, those after to-dos and all those would be getting stored. So yeah, and we'll be actually using a Copilot to develop that app.
So yeah, let's jump to the initial topic. Let's start from there. A quick check. For those who are doing it on your on this system, are you able to like log into your GitHub account and access code spaces?
Yeah, I think we are good.
Why can't they be on stream? Because we have to stop them.
So yeah,
But
let's start with it. So first, what we need to do in order to use Cosmos DB, we need to like integrate Cosmos DB package. So you might have seen the structure of the repo. It includes a server and a client. So yeah, let's enter into server and install Cosmos DB npm package there.
So this is the actual repo that we're talking about, like which we are maintainers of. So this is the SDK that you can use to connect to Cosmos DB, and we'll be writing our database layer on top of using this.
Internet. So yeah, since we have installed the Cosmos DB package, now we want to like create a sample, create a file which is going to interact with Cosmos DB. So let's create a new folder named services, which is going to contain all the services, and uh, let's create a simple file db.ts, which is
that the database file. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think yeah, we created a new folder. Yeah, let's create a new folder named service and create a DB file in that, and we will be actually so now is the actual part where like Copilot will help us create, but all we need to write in is files. So we just prompt Cosmos DB Copilot now to import our Cosmos Cosmos client from our SDK. And I hope because of internet we don't see any further issues. Yeah, it seems we are. Okay, we got it. Yeah. So just that now that you saw was actually the code completion feature by the Copilot, where you can just type a few words and it will actually detect based on the prompt that we gave it in the first line that you see. How can you actually use this Copilot?
Sure.
And so this is actually just the small part that we did. So right now, like after this, we hope that it will through all the code that is actually required to write this file.
So we have created that. Now, since this is a service which is going to interact with the database, we might be doing thread operation. So this is simple prompt which you can use to generate that file. So let's see. It creates a DB service class to tap the Cosmos DB SDK, and it would create credit for yeah, so it is able to generate it. As you can see, it's able to create a DB service, and it is also able to create some basic methods like get all the tasks, create a task, update the given task, and also delete with just a simple prompt.
Yeah. So the prompt that you see was just we gave it three lines of like what we actually wanted to do. So we just created that DB service class and connecting to the to-dos database that we already have and the task container that we already have, and with CRUD method for task. So what all CRUD method did it add? Like, I think let's walk through that once again. So the first thing that it did was it built that get task. So it's actually like select star from C. So what we are doing is that Cosmos DB actually has the SQL query language support where you can actually write these query select stars from this. So it will actually fetch all the data that we have from the database. And then we have create task that will actually add that to do into the database. Then it's an update task. Like for example, if you want to mark your app as completed, your task as completed that you have already done that task, so you will require to update that into your database, and so that it doesn't get actually deleted, but rather just gets updated. Then you have a delete task, where if you are done and if you don't want to that to be present in your app anymore, not even strike through, so you can actually delete a particular task.
It's more.
Yeah.
Actually, there's an issue. We solved it.
Yeah.
So let's ask Copilot to fix it.
Just hover over it.
Whether it's able to fix it.
So anyone wants to take a guess? What was the issue before this? Why is it throwing an error that okay something is not right? So actually, like Cosmos client requires your endpoint string that you use to connect to the database. So Copilot
Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be. Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be. Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful carriers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be. Zensar is home to curious, innovative, and passionate minds. We have some of the best techno-functional talent collaborating with marquee clients to develop solutions that solve complex business problems. We walk the talk on our people-first philosophy. We foster an environment of open communication and encourage our employees to express themselves freely. The leadership of Zensar is easily accessible to one and all. We have a passion for excellence. The focus of every Zensarian is client delight through execution excellence. At Zensar, you get the opportunity to work with amazing team members and will have a whole world of opportunity to reach your optimum potential. The reward and recognition mechanisms ensures that every Zensarian gets due credit for the work they perform. The focus on holistic development enables Zensarians to have meaningful and purposeful careers. If you have the ambition to be the very best version of yourself, then Zensar is the place to be.
Oh no, this is. Yeah, but it's extending instead of mirroring. So I need to turn this off. It's also, I don't know what's happening. It's because this connector is like. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry if anyone here is. No, I need to turn them. I can't even see it. This is terrible. I'm really sorry. It's like this cable.
Resolution.
No, it's the connector.
In our modern world, technology moves at light speed. But why has our financial infrastructure failed to keep up with the pace of change? The Interledger Protocol was created to make sending money across the internet easy. We envisioned a payments network that acts as a bridge between anyone and the entire world. Today, when we send an email, we take it for granted that once we hit send, the email will appear in the recipient's inbox almost instantly. It doesn't matter if you're sending from one email provider to another. It works seamlessly in a matter of seconds, not days. The Interledger Protocol is designed so you can send money as easily as you can send an email. It's a network that reflects our interconnected world, accessible to all, regardless of identity, geography, or income. One that's more inclusive, without minimum transaction amounts or costly transfer fees. The closed networks of the past keep people disconnected. Our mission is to bring our financial infrastructure into the 21st century and give everyone equal access to a global financial network. Email your digital bank or digital wallet provider and ask them to consider joining us to help make the world a more interconnected place. Visit interledger.org/today to learn more. In our modern world, technology moves at light speed. But why has our financial infrastructure failed to keep up with the pace of change? The Interledger Protocol was created to make sending money across the internet easy. We envisioned a payments network that acts as a bridge between anyone and the entire world. Today, when we send an email, we take it for granted that once we hit send, the email will appear in the recipient's inbox almost instantly. It doesn't matter if you're sending from one email provider to another. It works seamlessly in a matter of seconds, not days. The Interledger Protocol is designed so you can send money as easily as you can send an email. It's a network that reflects our interconnected world, accessible to all, regardless of identity, geography, or income. One that's more inclusive, without minimum transaction amounts or costly transfer fees. The closed networks of the past keep people disconnected. Our mission is to bring our financial infrastructure into the 21st century and give everyone equal access to a global financial network. Email your digital bank or digital wallet provider and ask them to consider joining us to help make the world a more interconnected place. Visit interledger.org/today to learn more. In our modern world, technology moves at light speed. But why has our financial infrastructure failed to keep?
Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna breathe, I'm not gonna talk. Now I understood because the cable's here.
So tell us where you came from.
Okay, I'm Benjamin. I see a lot of familiar faces, but if I didn't see you yesterday, I'm from Vonage. I came to Delhi from Tel Aviv for this conference, and it's been really amazing. Thank you, everybody. It's my first time in India, and I have to say it's really been a great experience. It's a very interesting place. People are very warm, beautiful. So I just want to say, Danyawag. I think I said it okay. Okay, can I do it?
Yeah.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
good.
Finally, mission.
I think it's.
Am I gonna stand all the way over here? I don't know. Okay.
Say it again.
Okay, so let's start Mission Impossible. Displaying. Oh my gosh, it's like a techno show in here. Okay, I'm just gonna have to. Let's see.
My job is to come to cool places like this, let you all know about what Vonage does, how to use our products. I write tutorials, make videos, and get to meet lovely people like everyone here. So what is Vonage? We do communication APIs, and since Ericsson bought us 2 years ago, now we're also moving into network APIs. If you saw my talk yesterday, you know about how our APIs allow developers to program their application into the network. So that's kind of the future, really cool. Not so much what we're talking about today, but if you have any questions, you can reach out to me either after this talk or on Slack or anywhere on the internet. So what's our mission? Like Tom Cruise, we're going to do something really exciting, way too elaborate, only something that Hollywood could imagine. So your mission today, and I know it's the end of the day, it's the end of the conference. You can try to follow along afterwards. Everything that we're covering, I've written about in tutorials, so it's all online. You can clone the GitHub repo. So just pay attention and try to stay with me because we're doing a lot. Let's see. So we're gonna make a WhatsApp agent. We're gonna make. You heard that we have music, right? No. So we're making a WhatsApp agent that allows your customers to do a couple of different things. First, it's gonna turn your website or any presentations, any information you have, a generative AI agent. So basically, I'm going to show this new feature we have called Knowledge AI. You upload all of the information, and then it handles any sort of input and answers your users' questions. Then we're going to do a user feedback. So if you want to allow your users to write to you, like your customers, then you can store it in a database. We're going to use a very simple database, Google Sheets, show how to do that. And then lastly, we're going to connect WhatsApp with Slack. So this is what it's showing at the end, is if they don't get the right answer from the robo agent, we can connect them with a real person who can answer any question. And we're going to connect them with Slack. So we're going to do all of that stuff in hopefully just 1 hour and get you out of here in time for dinner. So Operation WhatsApp. Just a little overview of what the product that we're using today to build this. It's called AI Studio. So it's a low-code builder. You're going to see how easy it is to drag and drop just different nodes. It is low-code though, so you can add quite a lot of functionality on top with custom code and building out integration Google Sheets. So really, it's very flexible and adaptive. So what's our plan? First step, we're going to do that. First step, we're going to do that FAQ with the generative AI, show you how we can build up a knowledge base using the Cityjs information. Then next, we'll do the user feedback. So we can let Aris know how was the food, how was the content this weekend, send them all the information. And then lastly, we'll do that connection with Slack. So if we don't get the right information from the generative AI, we can connect with a real user, with a real agent. So with that, we'll go to the demo. So I'm opening up my AI Studio. Once you log in, it looks something like this. You go create a new agent. For today, we're just going to show how I built out this agent before. Oops. Let's see. So you have a canvas. If you've used a low-code builder in the past, it'll look quite familiar. On the left-hand side, you have all the different nodes that you can build with. So it's grouped by category. So you have conversations. So that's if you're sending messages or getting information back from the user. Some more advanced features for like custom code. And then you have some built-in integrations with Salesforce. And then anything you could ever want, you have a webhook. So as long as any third platform has a REST API, you can connect it with your agent. In this AI Studio, the underlying AI is mainly with like the NLP and NLU. So if anyone here has built their own chatbot before, maybe, you know how frustrating it is to build out your own NLU, NLP. So if you've ever had to do that where it says, if the user says blah, 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 then the agent should say blah, blah, blah. So that's a lot of the big engine that underlies the AI Studio, is that it handles all that for you. So you can build out intents for your users. So if for whatever domain you have. People might ask 10 different questions, 10 different, or maybe one question, 10 different ways. So you can build that out with the intents. So we're just going to get started with that first flow. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to send a welcome message. So we'll just drag that over here. And we have a few different data types that we can send in a message. You have text, image, audio. So I don't know if you saw in that first thing, in the first video. In the first video of what our agent's going to look like, what we did was we said, welcome to Cityjs, and then we attach that image. And the nice thing about AI Studio is we have right in here built-in testers. So each step that you go along, you can already test how's it going to look. So let's delete the flow going any further and just see how's that look to send a message. Boom, beautiful. We see Ari's face. This is a very welcoming agent, right, for people who want to come and join our conference. So Ari's, maybe next conference you have, you can build your own agent to answer any questions the users that conference people have. So the next step is once we welcome our user, we need to figure out what do they want to do. Do they have a question? Do they want to submit some feedback? Or do they want to talk to Ari's on Slack? Sounds kind of weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the collect input node. So once we open that up, looks like this. For the collect input, you're going to save that to a variable. So inside of AI Studio, you have you can create as many custom variables as you want, and so you have a couple of different ways that you can collect the input from the user. It can be by text. In WhatsApp, the nice thing is that you have that nice UI with buttons, so that people don't have to think too much. So in here, we're going to create some buttons for our user, and those are the 3 different options. So first option is I have a question. Second option is feedback. Third option is I want to talk with Aris. Now that's how it displays on the front end, and then on the back end, we need to save that value somehow. So later in our flow, we can know which button did the user push. So we save it as question, feedback, and chat. Now at the next stage, this is where you kind of have a couple different options. Because we have just 3 different values that it could be, we'll use a conditional here. So it's just like building out in code, but you just build out with the UI. You create conditions here. So against whatever that parameter is, like that variable. So whatever our user action selected. So we could say if they asked a question, we'll say the user action is equal to question. So here, just because we have 3, I created here that conditional tree. So it checks against each one of those 3 conditions. And that way it'll create, it'll diverge the flow, right? What you could do is if we let it be open-ended, the nice thing with the chatbot has the NLU built in is that if it's open-ended, you can let the user type whatever they want. And then here you'll use a classification, which will check whatever the user puts in against their intent. So here, that's where you'll build up the intent engine, which will tell which way in the studio it should go. But here, because we have a pretty simple agent, we'll just use the condition. So then once we get past whether you want, if you remember here in the flow, so let's start it over in the tester. We say, I have a question. So what should go next? The user should probably ask the question, right? So here we'll do another collect input, and here we'll ask the user, sure, what can I help you with? And we'll save it to another variable. So we can now connect that there. And now once we have the question, this is where we get to this interesting part with the generative AI, this new feature that we have. So it's called Knowledge AI. It's actually in private beta. Where is it here? QA. It's in private beta, and it should be released any week now, any day now. But you're seeing a little bit behind the scenes. So in here, this node has just a couple of things that you have to select, and it's pretty powerful because with just these 3 options here, it's going to be able to answer any input that the user gives it. So here is, we need to feed it that variable where we're storing the question. So here it was called inquiry, and then we need to store the answer that the generative AI gives, right? So then later we can show it to the user. So here I think I called it knowledge answer. And the last one is called the index. So the index is kind of like the repository of all the information that the generative AI knows how to answer. We tried to roll out generative AI last year. We did roll it out. Actually, you can see it here. It still says generative AI. That's about to go away once the knowledge AI gets put out of beta. But the problem was, I bet somebody here can probably guess. So we put out generative AI. We hooked it up with OpenAI. We made it in a node. It seemed to work. What was the problem?
Too unpredictable.
Too unpredictable. Very good. So unpredictable how? How do you think?
People can bootstrap it, like they can just say, forget everything that you already know and just answer the question. So the API was exploited.
Not like, yes, but not in such a dark way. But basically, yes, almost that.
You can get the bot to move away from the original prompting and move to a completely different context.
Maybe destination part of it.
Exactly. So these are all the correct answers. You're all very right on the nose. So what's the use case where we're building these agents? It's for a company, right? Like maybe a travel agency or a pharmacy or like think about any small business, right? And then you go into the agent and you say, how much is your service? And then the generative AI goes out on the internet and it just grabs like, some kind of price. And now because if it doesn't know the answer, it's going to hallucinate, it's going to give you something. So basically what we worked on this year was how to make sure that we don't have any of the hallucinations. So what we do with this knowledge AI, we go over here outside the agent, is that we build up like the repository of knowledge. Here we can add sources. So basically, this is the information from your company. I'm not sure if this is big enough. Yeah. So basically in here, you can go in and add each piece of information that the agent will know what to answer. So either you can add local files or you can do a URL. So let's go to the Cityjs website and let's say about, find out more. Right. Okay. I think I have the homepage. Let me double check. Already, I have the schedule. I have the privacy policy. I have the ticket information, the homepage. So once you have all these sources in here, what you do is you combine all the sources into what's called an index. So before we do that, I just want to delete the schedule, and then I'll show you in just 1 second how we add that. So once you have created a bunch of sources, then you have an index. And the cool thing is, before you even add it to your agent, you can go in here and we also have a little tester. So I deleted the schedule, but I want to say, what is Cityjs? So Cityjs is a JavaScript conference that brings together JavaScript enthusiasts. Let's say, when is Cityjs Delhi? 16th to 17th November. Great. Now, I got rid of the schedule, right? The speaking schedule. So let's try when is Benjamin speaking? Unable to find the relevant answer. Good. So it's not making stuff up. So now what we can do, and this is kind of cool because you can imagine it in the context of your own company, that every time maybe you have a new feature, a new product, something changes in the information, all you have to do is just add that new piece of information instead of like rebuilding the whole thing again. So we'll just go back here. We'll go to the schedule page, to the schedule, and then we can add a new source, URL, and we can see that you can also add PDFs. So Cityjs Delhi schedule. We go to the index, and let's add that as a new source. There it is. And now if we try it, say, when is Benjamin speaking? Benjamin speaking on the 16th and 17th. Perfect. And just to check, when is Aris speaking? Unable to find an answer. Great. So we're sure that this agent is only giving us real information. So now we can go back and actually use that index inside of our agent. So how we do that is we just add it as the index. We add in the parameter that's giving our user, the storing the question of the user, and then we're spitting it out in this new variable called knowledge answer. And that's all you have to do to configure it. So that's pretty cool. Now, each one of these nodes, the way that it works is that you can see that they have little dots. So that's kind of like the options of where the flow can go. So here we take the answer option, and then we're just going to send the message with the answer inside. So this is just how it looks when a variable in AI Studio, when you call it with the $sign. Kind of like jQuery, I guess. And so then we just have some backups for don't know and failed. So if the agent has some problem where it can't answer that question, like if I ask a question that's not inside the database in the repository of knowledge, it'll go here and say, sorry, I don't know how to answer that. And if there's something that's actually failing in the call itself, it'll give a error message. So then what we do, now you can see that inside of our canvas, we're kind of getting a lot of different blocks. It's starting to be kind of complicated. The nice thing is we have what's called a flow. So it's a kind of a way to organize these blocks around. So in our subflow, we created one for repeat. It's basically, if we go back here, and let's test our new version of this agent. So I have a question. Sure, what can I help you with? How much are tickets to Cityjs Delhi? I think it should know that. Oh, doesn't know that. Let's just ask the question that I'm sure that it knows. When is Benjamin speaking? So, right, so it answered the question, and then because I deleted here, it stops the agent. So let's make it allowed to repeat. So inside of this subflow, you can see there's a lot of logic here, but basically all of this is just all the logic to ask again. So because we have in our agent a couple of different flows, right? We can do the generative AI, we can do the feedback, we can do the Slack. We don't want to have to rewrite that logic so many times. So here we're just going to create a loop, and then we can use it again and again. And I'm not going to go inside of each of these, but basically all it does is it says, do you want to ask another one? If so, then it takes you back to that appropriate flow. If not, then do you want to go back to the main menu, start the whole thing over again? And if you don't want to go back to the main menu, say goodbye and end the conversation. So in that way, we can kind of keep this a little bit more organized and reusable, which is nice. So if we go back here and we reconnect this, so now it's going to go into that repeat flow. And if we want to ask another question, it's not nice that we allow our user just to ask one question. When is Cityjs Delhi? Cityjs Delhi is on November 16th, 17th. Do you have another question? Let's say yes. And the really nice thing, I think we've all ChatGPT and LLMs, is I didn't really have to put in any of the information, right? You saw I just copied a couple of URLs, threw it in the knowledge AI base, but it allows your end user to have a very human-like conversation. So instead of having to say exactly what I want, I don't have to say the question perfectly. I can say it like a real human. So I can say, tell me about the privacy policy. I'm sure a very human question. So then it'll tell me about the privacy policy, but then I can have a follow-up question, right? So it says, all the data collected is provided in relation to the use of this website. Please be careful. How is data collection handled? Oh, I missed I'm not a good user. I missed hitting I have another question. And this is also where it's really nice to have this Gen AI, because users usually ask questions in the worst possible way. Like, instead of saying, I want to make a purchase, they just say, how much, or ticket. So here we can just do, how is data collection handled? And you can see that the Gen AI data collection is handled in 2 ways. And we can keep asking it a lot of questions, having a conversation. But for developers, what's the most boring part? It's putting in all of the different possible text, right? And then making sure that it gives you the right answer. But like this, you just have to copy paste some URLs. So we have the first part of our first part of Mission Impossible is done. Woo-hoo. Wow. I've been speaking a lot the last couple of days. The next part is handling feedback, right? So we've been through we're basically through 2 days of Cityjs. We want to let Aries know how's it going. So what we can do is with a very, very simple, just using a post request, we can connect this WhatsApp experience.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like when you're like asking the question.
Yeah.
Is it another question or like no? This it is asking back, right?
Right. So sorry. Yeah.
Can we disable that? Like, can this ask a question? Like it is asking like, do we need to like ask another question? It's asking you back, right?
So the only reason it's doing that is because I built here this like subflow, this flow where it goes into here. So when it enters that block, what it does is it goes into this subflow where it does all that logic of asking another question. But if I didn't build this out, it would just finish there and that's it. Like you can make it just through one action. But what I was trying to show here was how you can build like a loop, basically.
Do like add another action? Do we need this thing always?
No. You don't.
Another person, right?
Yeah. You don't need it. It was just to make the user experience a little bit nicer, right? Like if you want to talk to the agent and ask him any questions, but you could just do it just once.
But can we share the loop without the yes and no part?
Yeah.
Without selecting.
I don't believe so. Yeah, it's this is the part whenever I build the demo. It's a little bit it's like dropping the nodes. It's a little tiresome, but that's why it's nice to do it as this subflow that's flexible, because then you can do it for each time, like for each one of your flows. But it's a good question. I'm pushing the product managers to build something for an easier loop.
Because as you did like ask question again,
Yeah.
person may ask also right. Without the like clicking the button, user may ask another question.
Yeah. For the chatbot, yeah, it's a little bit annoying that each time you have to ask the question instead of. But you'll see in the Slack, you don't have to do that. So when we connect with somebody in the Slack, it connects just for the conversation, because with the generative AI, it's sending the question each time, right? Yeah, but it's a good question. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the feedback. So what we have now is that we get Aries. We don't have a question, we have feedback. So it's going to ask us, what type of feedback do you have? Aries, this is important for you. You should listen. We have feedback for you. So is it feedback about the content, about the food, or the swag? So let's say content. And then it's going to ask us a question. So we're just doing that here. We're storing that into 2 variables, what type of feedback, and then what's the feedback. And then what we do is we use a webhook node. So from here on the side, you have this integration webhook. So basically this allows you to connect with anything that has a REST API, which is pretty powerful. I've built out like tutorials and demos with a lot of different platforms. So in here, it's pretty straightforward. You just select what kind of request you have. Is it a GET request, POST request, And you can already imagine how instead of sending information, you can also take information. So in the database, you can also have all of your customers, right? So you grab all their information and put that in as a variable and say they're like when somebody texts in, you'll know their number, right? So you could do like a lookup by their number, get all their information, like, oh my God, how does the agent know everything about me? So you could do that with this. So here you just select what kind of request it is, the URL, and then here this should look pretty familiar. You have your headers, your body, and then the query parameters, right? So in here, we're going to pass it to this Google Sheets URL, and we're passing in the body all the information that we want to store. So who is the person? We're getting from their WhatsApp name. Yesterday, if you did the WhatsApp demo on our booth, in one of the messages, it didn't ask your name, but it said to you, what's your name? So that's how we got it. It has your number from who's sending in the message, and then those two pieces of information we collected, the feature and the feedback. So just like this, you can do something nice for your product manager. Now, really simple, we're just doing a Google Sheet with just a couple of columns here. And I don't know if you've done, use the app scripts in Google Suite, but it's pretty powerful, turning, like, before I did this, I didn't realize how easy it is to share, like to create a database from your Google Sheets. So basically here, you're just creating a post endpoint. You can also create a get endpoint. It's grabbing whatever information is coming through and storing it in this post data object. And then for each one of those fields, we're going to update our spreadsheet by grabbing the username, the phone number, the feature, and the feedback. So what it does is then it goes into that spreadsheet, looks for the feedbacks page, and it's going to add the new row. All you have to do then is you do a deployment. So here you'll see in the deployments, that's where I got the URL where we're going to send the post request to. And that's all you have to do. Really simple. It's like the easiest, most free, don't pay for any one of these, Monday.com. What's the other famous ones? Or like Airtable. I don't know. Google Sheets is so nice. So now we have our database here set up, and we have our webhook here. The nice thing in AI Studio is that you can test a request. So here I send a test request, and if I look over here, and nothing, there's no update. That's because if we look in the request, the body is empty because we didn't actually give it any information. But what's cool is that you have here, you can set test values. So for the feature, let's say, I think it was content, the feedback is the speakers were awesome. And so the sender phone number, let's just make up a phone number, 9155555. And profile name, Aris Rocks. So now if we send the request, we can see we get a response here, row added successfully. And we see Aris Rocks and all the information. So with the AI Studio and with this webhook, it's super easy to connect with any third-party platform. And if we want, we can even here just show. So let's update these tests. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. And close this out and restart this. So let's say feedback, content, what should ours know? Benjamin is the best speaker. You should definitely bring him back. And let's see, there we go. We already have it here, right? So, Mission Impossible, 2 out of 3, we're done. We're almost there. But like Tom Cruise, the scariest part is always at the end. It's like the final boss, Slack. So in the Slack, we're going to, connecting WhatsApp with Slack. So I think it's pretty cool. Honestly, when I made it work the first time, it was pretty cool. I'm just checking my notes. So what do we end up wanting to do? Let me just check that I have it here. Okay. So I just want to remind you what we have to do. So I'm opening my. So here we're running the bot in WhatsApp. So let's say, hey. The problem is it's not really easy. The tester for the Slack is. Let's see. This is. So I'm going to test here in the WhatsApp, and then you'll be able to see it here in real time. So I start the conversation with the agent. Cool, we're excited to have you at Cityjs. I want to chat with Aries. So when I press that, we see sure thing, what can help you? But I just want to walk it through. Okay, right, I need to send the first message. Who has a question for Aries? Aries, where did you get that sweet yellow hat? So it says, now I'm connecting you with a member. And in the Slack, we can see in this channel, it has the information. So now on this side, the agent is going to go in here and say, I want to start a ticket. Great. Now in the thread, it says that this conversation has been initialized. The agent's then going to use the slash command, say reply. Sorry if this is too small. Making it worse. Oh, I hate that happens. Okay, so it's going to say slash reply. I won't tell you my secrets. What else can I help you with? So then we should get it. Oh, good. So this is, you're going to see in a second, but basically people are more or less familiar with Slack and the Giphy slash command where you can send Giphies. So they make it look so fun and easy with Giphies, but when you go to build your own one, it's a little bit complicated. You can't do the slash command inside of threads. So like you can't thread the messages. So what we had to do was build a little bit of logic. So here to do reply, I have to say which thread am I replying to. It doesn't know, you can't do it like on a message like that. So I have to say I'm replying to this thread, and then I won't tell you my secrets. So now we see, all right, here we logged first when we created that session, we logged it here saying for the team to know who's the one answering the ticket, and then it has the reply from the team member. We have it back here in WhatsApp. Okay, where's the bathroom? I guess. And we can go back and forth. So again, here we go. We see here that it's giving us the conversation back and forth inside the thread. So here we say reply, downstairs, and let's just say that was the end of the conversation. So then the team member will close that ticket by saying /close ticket. And here we go. It lets the user in WhatsApp also know, thanks for using our service. See you at the conference. So now that we remember how it's supposed to work, we see that we have conversation going in two directions, right? That all happens in the AI Studio using what's called the live agent routing node. So if I open this up here, it looks a bit complicated. But basically what we have is, we have an endpoint that starts the conversation. Then we have an endpoint where we're sending the messages, receiving the messages, I'm sorry. And basically, once we start it, until we get a request to this stop connection endpoint, it's going to be open. So it's sending messages back and forth with the agent. So where are we sending it to? We're sending it to Slack, right? And we need to somehow be shuffling messages in between, back and forth between Slack and WhatsApp. So how we do this is with a node, just a very simple node server. You can later, if you want to retry this out, I have a blog post that covers the whole thing, but you just can go to GitHub, download, clone this repo, and so the project looks like this. It's just an Express app, pretty simple. there's just two things that you need to configure. So the Slack URL, which I'll show in a second how we get that, and your Vonage API key, which nobody wrote down. So in here, we're doing our basic Express setup, right? Creating the server, saying what we're listening to. Then we have that URL for the Slack. We have our API key. So step one is from the WhatsApp, we need to send to Slack. And to do that, we need to create a Slack app. So if we go here, so I've created an app, but basically you'll go from scratch, and then all you need to do is what we're going to do right now, which is Cityjs WhatsApp demo. So it's just a couple of things to fill out. Also, to create the app, that means that you need to have to be able to be an admin on a workspace, because you need to be able to put the app onto a channel, or be able to ask an admin that you can install the app on a channel. So the first thing is there's a couple of things that we need to fill out in this app. We are going to activate incoming webhooks, interactivity and shortcuts, and slash commands, and those are going to help us with 3 different functionalities. The easiest thing ever, you're going to feel super cool the first time you make a Slack app, is just to be able to post messages. And that's what incoming webhooks allows you to do. It's a wide open URL. So basically, anytime you send a message there, if it's configured right, it's going to post it into the channel where you have the app. So we turn that on. We grab this URL. That's what we store here in our env file. And the first message that we do is from WhatsApp to Slack. So that's what we have here in this start. So what it does is that it listens from the AI Studio. The AI Studio sends the message in the transcript. So here we can see it's called a transcript, and we have a little bit of logic which pulls that out of the request. Puts that into the data that Slack is expecting, and then we just send off a post request to that URL that we got from here. So that's pretty straightforward. That'll send that first message from the user to the Slack. Then it gets a little bit complicated. Now, why does it get complicated? Because we want to make that nice experience like Giphy has, where the agent is answering inside one thread. If we didn't care and we were just sending messages into the channel nonstop, we could do it. But what we need to do is somehow connect our Slack messages with our AI Studio messages. So how we do that is how we showed before. So we need to create the first thing. If you remember, the first step that I did in here was that when we got this message from the AI Studio, I went in as the agent and I said, let's create a ticket. So what we do to do that is we put that endpoint, which our node server is doing that logic, and we create a shortcut. So this is where it doesn't let you do it like Giphy, but to do that first trigger, we do an on message, and then we give it the information of start a ticket. So we have it here, the start a ticket, and basically it allows us to then send a request to that endpoint that we've configured. So whenever we hit start a ticket, it sends a request to this /start. Also, sorry, I skipped a step, but basically this server is running just locally, and then we're exposing it with ngrok just for this demo. So whenever we hit that /start, what it does is it goes in here, it pulls all that data from, so we're clicking it on a message. Inside that message, we have the message from the user, and we have the message from the agent. And what we do is we package that up in the data, and then we post it in to our Slack. So that's where we got that message here, session seen. So we've initiated it. We've put that into our local storage, into this sessions here, this sessions object, where we're saying correlating the AI Studio sessions to the Slack sessions. So basically, this is the method that connects the two. Once we've connected the two, now we can go and do our back and forth conversation. So in our back and forth conversation, that's where we hit Slack /message. And that's where we can use these slash commands, right? So reply. And how does that reply come up? That's in the Slack where we have slash commands. Similar to how we did the shortcut, we create a command here, give it a name, so that's how it pops up. Here we put in the URL where it's gonna hit, so backslash Slack, backslash, or slash Slack slash message. And that's when the Slack is gonna send a request to our node server. When it does that, it sends a bunch of information. We pull out the information that's for Slack, pull out the information that's for AI Studio, and then we send the post request. So here we can see that we're sending the post request to the Studio outbound session ID inside the local storage, so that we can tell AI Studio which conversation we're talking about. Because think about it, in the WhatsApp, you could have a lot of different conversations going at the same time, right? You could have different users opening conversations. So inside here, it's kind of like a bus that's saying which Slack conversation is going with which WhatsApp conversation. So here, this posted back to our AI Studio, which is closed out. And it's going here. So this is what's accepting the inbound messages from Slack. And so at that point, we now have messages going in both directions, inbound and outbound. But at a certain point, we want to end the conversation, right? So to do that, we do another one of these slash commands for close ticket. It's going to go to Slack end. And inside of Slack end, we have two post requests, one to tell the AI Studio that we're ending the conversation, and the second one to Slack that we're ending the conversation. And inside of here, we also give a little bit of information to the user so that they know the conversation is ended. The rest of this server.js is pretty straightforward. It's just the server. And then here we do the logic, which cleans up the text each time that it's sent. So that's basically that here. And if you want, let's see, we should be able to get here. So now let's put it to the test. Let's see if you can scan it. If somebody wants to be brave enough to scan and send in a question to the Slack, we should be able to answer someone's question from Slack. Not everybody at once. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I have one question.
Yep.
So, the number that we are chatting with currently, is that a business account number or a sandbox number?
This one is a sandbox, but yeah, like yesterday on the booth, we had it in with a real business account. So you just need to you can buy a number from us, or it can be your WhatsApp business.
So
Yeah.
we can do these.
Yeah. But yeah, you can build out, like, just to play around with it. You can do it totally for free. Like, you don't have to pay anything, and just try it out. It's pretty, yeah.
So if we buy from you, then do we get to show the company name as well?
Yeah. So not me, but there's other people in the company who help with the customizing, like, all your WhatsApp information.
It's possible.
Yeah. It's okay. Did somebody send a message to Slack? If not, it's okay. We can move on. So let's see. So yeah, and so you can see here, this nodes is very simple, right? It's just getting the question, starting the conversation with that's the agent that's going to send it to Slack, start that conversation. Once it ends, we just have a little thank you message to say thanks for using our product, and we finish that flow. So I'm just going to check if anyone asks a question. No? Okay. Did somebody try? It's not working? You sent it?
I did.
You did? Oh, Wait, okay, so we have one here. So, start a question, start a ticket. Wait, what's it? So we started a ticket, and we can do a reply. Hello, who is this? Oh, now it's all coming. Now we can see all of the trans. So we can see. Let's see who are we texting with. No. Okay. So anyway, you saw how the Slack is working. So we did the question, we did the feedback, we did the Slack. I don't know if it was 1 hour or not. I hope it was right about 1 hour. We had some great questions. If there are any more questions, yeah.
So, the one has generative AI and things. Whenever someone is conversing with the agent, do you guys store the information for training the Gen AI agent even further, or not? Or is there like a specific plan in which you go?
So actually, when we rolled out the Gen AI last year, what was the original way that we tried was to basically let you bring your own LLM. So you hook up your own account, and then we just kind of connecting it with our platform. What we did to make it to be able to control it more is that now we're using, I believe it's Gemini. So, and then basically you don't have to worry about pricing in two different places. We don't charge anything extra on AI, but basically it's all coming through the Microsoft Gemini model. And we're not Google, sorry. And we don't store anything like, I think we store the information for something like 30 days, but we don't store anything long term. Yeah.
Like we integrated this WhatsApp agent with Slack, so can we likewise integrate it with Discord also?
Yeah. So that's the cool thing is you can connect this with literally any platform that has an API with like kind of the same in and out messaging. As long as it's has in and out, you can connect it with. I know that people have connected with Teams in the past. Discord has been connected. And one thing that I didn't say before is actually, so we did WhatsApp, but you also have for voice agents and you have for SMS. And then you can use this platform with any user interface with the HTTP. So if you want to build it like actually in the site or in an app, and then just use the low-code builder to do the annoying, the NLP instead of having to create each flow separately. Yeah.
So it's also possible to connect this to the new ChatGPT voice API, right?
Yeah. Also. Yeah. Good question. And I think you had another. Same question. Okay. Yeah. So actually, it'd be cool if you guys want to try and build it with Discord. Message me. I'd be really interested to help you and see how that works. So if you want, I think everybody maybe took it yesterday, but some free API credits to get you started. If you are playing around with any of our APIs and you need more credit, just message me on Slack. I'm always happy to find you a coupon code. And lastly, we're hiring in India. We have a big office in Bangalore. It's just on Vonage/careers. Send me a message on LinkedIn, say, hey, I saw you at Cityjs. I'll be happy to put your CV in the system. Oh, sorry, somebody was taking a picture. And Nayuwa, thank you so much.
So I want to keep everyone happy. So let's duel, because we had some issues with the code from the guys from Azure Cosmos. Let's try to do like a quick wrap up. That's what it's going to work. Okay, this looks.
Yeah, for now it's working.
Okay. Let's move the screen. Can you move it to the other side? You're going
You can connect the comments beside that.
Yeah. We're starting now.
Alright, people, if you have some spare time, we'll continue our talk and hopefully if you can stay for 5 to 10 minutes, I think it would be awesome. But yeah, feel free
Okay.
Alright, everyone. Hey, everyone. Sorry about the glitch. Hopefully, let's quickly complete wherever we left off. So, in the previous session of this talk, we saw that, but all we had done, we had actually added all the database related things, and we actually took a bit liberty to fix up our document. You can see that, okay, now we have this as a static singleton instance of this DB service that we have. And we had implemented all the methods in the last talk. And we have also credit gains here. And also, we are done with the putting and fetching the data from the databases. And so all that is done now. So let's continue from this point, and let's just quickly see this app in action. And hopefully it will also show you like how you can build these kind of apps. So alright, so previously I think we skipped one step. That was we were talking about like how do we connect. So we have written all these CRUD APIs, but how do we actually connect to the Cosmos string? For that, like you have multiple ways, right? You can actually use your connection string, your API key, or your endpoint your API key, or also use managed identity. That. So now keeping it simple, I think let's do it using environment variable of the two environment variables that we declared at that time. But for those, let's just check it. First was Cosmos endpoint, and other one was Cosmos key. So I think yeah, we have already added those into our environment file here. I'm not going to show you that. So in our DB, let's quickly load those environment variables in our system, and let's also ask Copilot for that only. So yeah, okay, nice, good suggestion. And how do we initialize it from this? Yeah, that is done. Okay, one more thing. We actually need to import this, install this package, right? So let's go to server. The package is and the server. Yeah, inside this, let's do mdmi.env so that we can actually use this package. Right, hopefully loads up a bit quickly. Yeah, I think we're good. It installs successfully. Let's just save this file. Let's just save this file. Yeah. Alright. So in the interest of time, let's just see local build of this. Alright. Hopefully everything should be working fine now. And we'll quickly have our server and front end the backend application ready for this. So it's building right now. Let's see that. Try to open that in browser. So what needs to be done? Anything? Okay. I have something in mind actually. Remind tech support to take an event. And this added. Okay. We actually we fixed that. Right? Let's, I think, mark that as complete. Yeah. So marking that as complete is basically like taking it out. And let's quickly see the database where all this data is getting stored. Okay, I have already just window up. So this is that DB. So to do is the DB name and the task is the container name. So yeah, let's quickly try to fetch what is stored in this database. Right. So yeah, Rewind takes support to fix HTML. As that is done, community mark as true. Let's do one more thing. I think. What do we need to do? Prepare backups. A backup if anything goes wrong. Right. This one will kick it off, I think, whenever we prepare the backup for the next conference. But yeah, let's quickly see this up in our database. We'll see if I can refresh this or make another query. So this is actually, yeah. This one, let's see. Okay, prepare backup if anything goes wrong. The completed mark is false. I think yeah, we'll mark it next time. So yeah, this is the kind of the UI that you'll see from that application that you can continue with, and just yeah. This is the website aka.me/w/copilot to do, and you can complete your to do app and start your journey with the Copilot. And so this basically was a demonstration of the power of Copilot that you can use.
We actually skipped the deployment step in interest of time, but yeah, you can check out this link. It contains everything. How to deploy a function app using that. So yeah.
Yeah, and also like this app, it's a simple to-do app, but actually like if you keep on building on this, is actually more about the structure that you need to follow to create a good website and with a good backend and all these things. So like these are the basic steps, but mostly it's about like getting that right on the right path to use the Copilot and actually understand this more functionality and all these things. So yeah, thank you all. Thanks for staying for this. Yeah.